Manchester United 0, Atletico Madrid 1.
That was a nice
It
pronunciation.
wasn't too bad, was it? It wasn't too bad. First loss under Erik ten Hag, first loss of the pre-season tour. One more game to come tomorrow, of course, but completely different team. Sum up that performance. How you feeling after watching that, bro?
I feel tired. I feel tired because that was like watching your typical Atletico Madrid game. Bitty, scrappy. And I think the thing you have to do when you play them is not get drawn into it. And I think that's what we did. We didn't do it as much as we did it when we played them last season. But you just get drawn into it. Your standards drop a little bit. I felt like we deviated from the game plan a lot during that game. There were principles that were still the same. We still saw some nice passing moments, but not as much as we had seen on tour. And like we spoke about during the game, the biggest frustrating thing for me was that the opportunities to create chances, we had those, but it was always a lack of quality. Final third, finding the wrong pass, passing it into a defender, passing it into nothing, or just a heavy touch, a poor touch. And that, I think, will be the biggest disappointing thing for Erik ten Hag today. And make no mistake, we lost. We should have had at least 2 goals.
Yep.
The first half, Anthony Martial, he claims he got pushed. He didn't. And the second half, Christian Eriksen corner, first corner in a Man United shirt, Harry Maguire, he should score. So
He's got to score.
he's got to score, and that will be what Erik ten Hag will be looking at. And ultimately, we lost the game because we shot ourselves in the foot with that. We should have taken our chances. Quality on the ball wasn't good enough, and maybe a little bit of a reality check going into next weekend, which isn't a bad thing.
What do you think Erik ten Hag learned from that?
That some of these players, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a really long time, and some of these players, and we've spoken about this before. He's been with them 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Some of the players won't be able to do what he wants them to do. And it's not a fault of effort. We spoke about this during the stream as well. Some people saying, I still don't trust the players. I don't think I can fault a lot of the effort of United today. I didn't see a team that wasn't trying hard.
Definitely.
I saw a team that was frustrated because they were trying, but maybe they're just not good enough. Or maybe today they just weren't good enough. They got sucked into Atleti's game plan. And that will be a thing that Ten Hag will be saying is just stick to the game plan. Stick to the principles. Because we saw times today, 5-10 minutes, freestyle came back. And then they come back in, try and pass it around a little bit again. Just stick to the principles. It will come. But
We didn't really see that today, did we? In terms of like the way that we want to play, and actually the way we have been playing on the tour,
Exactly.
which is, that front three, hunting impacts, getting it back quick. And I wouldn't say that Atletico dominated because we didn't win it back quick, because we were winning it back and we were kind of having the better of the exchanges, but it didn't feel like the same methodical way of playing that we have in the previous 4 games.
yeah, and I think we saw that a couple of times on the preseason tour when it isn't going right. Don't panic.
Yeah.
It will work. It will work. Just stick to the principles. Stick with what I've been telling you to do. Stick with what the game plan is. Don't revert back to type. Don't rush things. Final third, there were so many times where it would be a rush pass. Or we were saying it, we're screaming, put your foot on the ball.
Yeah, just
take
relax.
your time, relax. And that's what we also didn't see as a panic once we get into the final third of some players like, I'm in the final third. What do I do now? Take your time. Wait for the space to open up. It will. And again, I hope that comes with time. And I think the biggest thing that Ten Hag will have to do going forward is just keep drilling that in. Stick to your principles. If you look at the teams like, I don't want to compare us to City or Liverpool, but those teams, if it's not working, they don't change. They don't deviate from the game plan. They stick to the plan. And that's maybe what we didn't do today, but we still made some chances. And making a mistake, as we said, Atletico Madrid are a really good team.
Yeah. And more importantly, they're good at what they do.
Exactly.
Like, do you know what I mean? They know what to do.
Exactly. I mean, the one thing I maybe would have wanted to see today is Martinez come out and actually have some time on the pitch. We didn't see that. Eriksen, it's difficult to impact the game with
What do you think he can do or bring going forward?
just composure. That was it. Just composure. We were saying that just a couple of times we just give him the ball. Just give him the ball because we know he'll put his foot on it and find the pass. A couple of times he nearly found Elanga when we were going, I didn't even see that pass. I didn't even see it was there, and he saw it. So his ability to dictate the tempo of the game, find a pass is what I'm hoping for. I think he should start next weekend.
I was just about to say that.
Great minds.
Should Eriksen start?
Yes, because I mean, a game like today was almost perfect for someone like you would say McTominay, in terms of that's what he does. He battles, he's scrappy, collar up, Cantona.
Oh, mate. I mean, look, that's, I don't even know if that's in shot, that Cantona shot there, but Josh, is that in shot? Can they see unblocked? Well, anyway, that, you know, when you see the collars up, we think that, and it's like Scott today.
No one is saying Scottish Cantona coming out of that game. Nobody. Maybe he is. He's going Scottish Cantona, and everyone goes, put it down.
Yeah, stop.
That's, you know, and today was his kind of game, but going forward, we need more in that midfield three.
Important, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I know the De Jong thing keeps going on, but it's so vital, man.
I mean, to be fair, before he got sent off, I thought Fred did fine in that role. He looked quite tidy, some nice touches. I don't know what he's doing.
It's just got possessed. I don't know.
I'm going to kick him and stamp on him. Yeah. SummerSlam's tonight, and it's not in Oslo. Okay, that's what he was doing. So I didn't get that. I guess that's frustration of playing Atletico.
Yeah,
you get sucked in, and that's what they do. But we're not going to play in Atletico every single week. No. Teams are more progressive than that sometimes in the Premier League, but we've got to deal with that. You've got to beat your opponents on the pitch. We didn't today, so there'll be a lot to learn. Certainly.
Lastly, I know you're not reactionary. You won't just decide this off the back of one game, but I wanted to ask you about signings and like, how do you view, like you saw obviously Elanga came in for Sancho today. Look, he had a poor game today, but in general,
biased.
He had a poor game.
Agendas.
Yeah, exactly. He had a shocking game today. By seeing that one player just being out, did it send any more alarm bells, or is it you always knew that? Like, do we need more?
Clearly, we need more. Imagine today, Fred gets sent off. If this was a Premier League game, you'd be going, who's going to play there? Who's going to play there the next game? We are one injury away or suspension away from each position being like, we're really lacking in depth. No disrespect to Elanga. He hasn't had the best preseason, but the difference is clearly there. And I also think about it in terms of if this was a Premier League game, Ten Hag would be looking at his bench going, who comes on, impacts the game. I know it wasn't the full squad there today. They're going to be playing tomorrow, the rest of them. But you would look at that bench going, who's going to change the game? If Eriksen's starting, you look at that bench and goes, who's going to come on and get me a goal? Maybe if Ronaldo's back and he's on the bench. But in terms of someone that's going to come on, change the game, we just don't have that in terms of strength and depth. And that's why this season, it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be painful. There are going to be games like that today where teams just park the bus and we can't break them down. And we have to deal with a counter-attack. That's what United are going to deal with this season. So that is an eye-opener as to what could happen in the future this season. But let's take it a game at a time.
There was no Lisandro Martinez today as well.
Get it? No, I thought that was strange for him. The only thing I can think of is, like we were saying before, maybe just in terms of travelling, being with the first team, being part of that preparation, that analysis. I thought Maguire and Lindelof did okay. I wouldn't say that they did terrible. At points there, I thought Maguire actually did quite well.
Yeah, they never opened us up like time. That's the frustrating thing about today's game. It was all on us about the things we're not able to do well that help us win games, as opposed to we're getting our pants pulled down and pulled all over the shop. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that. Again, we looked uncomfortable at times, playing the ball around from the back, and that's where you would hope Martinez would be the guy that is very comfortable. Those sort of bits where you're going, oh, I'm not sure what that pass is going on. You got a bit lucky there. Yeah. I don't think that happens with Martinez, but who partners him? Who partners him?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, Maguire's the one who's fit and available all the time. Lindelof always usually gets put to the side when there's, big conversations going on over who's going to start for he's never been like the consistent starter.
Yeah.
Unless it's alongside Maguire. It's going to probably be them two, isn't it?
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, again, Maguire did fine defensively, but he should score. Yeah. He should score. Who's saying about him having...
would have made Eriksen look so good.
Yeah, great header over the ball. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.